I know. This is not the best time to make this kind of announcement that I'm no longer an Arsenal fan. I mean, after 22 years of waiting to win the EPL trophy, it's now there. So I probably should not be making this kind of announcement now. But trust me, when I finish telling you why I'm no longer an Arsenal fan, you totally agree with my love for football started way before it became a trend. So it's not like I was into it because it's a trend for females to now want to feel like they're football fans and stuff. So I've been a fan for a very long time. So let me start with what made me choose Arsenal. I mean, there are so many teams. In fact, I live in Nigeria where you have so many teams, but somehow out of all the teams to support, I just decided to support Arsenal. I'll tell you how it started. First of all, I used to like football as a generally. I used to love the Super Eagles. Yes, I used to love the Super Eagles. I was a fan when females were not into soccer. It wasn't even something for females to talk about, but I just always liked football somehow. I even tried to play football when I was in year one at the university, and it was a flop because the first time I went to the field, I was so tired that I realized that football is not for me. So I just stuck to being a fan. So I continue like that. But now, for you to know why I chose Arsenal, I have two brothers. One of them likes Arsenal and the other likes Manchester United. Now, it's very clear why I would not support Manchester. I never would ever be a fan of Manchester United. For in case you don't know, I mean, how would I support a team that they call themselves Red Devils? I don't want to have anything to do with the devil in any way, shape, or form. So I think I was just left with Arsenal. So I became an Arsenal fan. And it's a long time, it wasn't the time that Henry was playing for Arsenal, but you had players, different players in Arsenal like Yaya Toure, like Toure, Kolo Toure, and a host of others. Yes, it's been a while, so I know I sound rusty. But I just decided to stop. No, I didn't. I think Arsenal chose me. Yes, Arsenal chose me in a sense because I was staying with my brother and he was so much into Arsenal. So I just imbibed the habit. But after a while, I realized that, man, in this life, when you even look at football, let's even look at football. Football doesn't make sense. Let's call it what it is. I mean, you have a group of men, 22 men, sweating, throwing the ball from one place to the other. It doesn't make sense. I mean, when you look at it critically, let's not be emotional here. Football doesn't make much sense. That's just it. And another thing is that there's a time in your life that there are things you'll be doing. You are not so into something. I mean, you have other priorities. Life overtakes you. I mean, there are some things you did many years ago that when people realize that you no longer do it, they'll be shocked. But after a while, I found out that my priorities were different, very different. I mean, if you're a football fan, you stay, you watch your team twice a week. I mean, that time you can use it for something useful, something more beneficial. So I just found out that I was no longer interested in football, in Arsenal, or any other team. There were other things I was just doing with my life. It was time for me to focus. It was time for me to know exactly why I'm really here on earth, what I need to do. And I found out that football was not even anything close. Do you know it's so bad now that even if I go somewhere in football, I wouldn't even watch. I'm telling you, I've totally lost interest. It's like nothing. So I'm not dissing Arsenal fans. So Arsenal fans are cool. You're supporting your team. Congratulations after 22 years. But for me, I have other priorities. Football is definitely not one of the priorities. Now, is there anybody like me that used to be crazy about football, but somehow you've outgrown it? There are other issues in your life, or you never even liked football at all? Because sometimes in Nigeria, like in Nigeria, there's this quiz. There's also this kind of competition. People are like, I'm a fan of Arsenal, I'm a fan of Chelsea. They're like a rivalry. We really love the EPL, and I don't know why. Not even the La Liga. There are people that like the La Liga, but the EPL is the main thing in Nigeria. And maybe it's this colonial mentality. I don't know what it is, but there's always this crave. But there are some people that they've never been into football. They are males. They have no apologies. They are not football people. Are you one of those people that you've never been into football and you feel like nothing will make you be a football fan? Please put it in the comments. And what other sports do you like watching, or is there something else you do that just is not even related to sport? Let's continue this conversation in comments. So till I see you in the next video, take care and think about what I said.